And what is up, everybody? We are back with the Magic and Andrew MMA betting show, episode 32. We have Volkov versus Rozenstruik this weekend. We're back after a week off. How's it going, buddy?
I'm fine.
Good. Glad to hear it, as always. I'm going to kick it to you for the first fight of the night. We're going to go in best fight odds order, bottom to top. As always, JJ Aldrich versus Aaron Blanchfield. How many Bobby Greens are you putting on JJ Aldrich?
Yeah, I see a lot of people that are going to take a stab on Aldrich here based on value. I don't know how much value there is really. Like, Blanchfield is going to take her down and maul. Even on the feet, it's not that. Like, if she keeps seated standing, she's going to lead her up or something. I don't really rate Blanchfield standing up. She's like all right, she's hittable, but she has good volume, she has aggression, and the grappling is not close. I think Blanchfield is going to maul her. Losing money on Blanchfield to finish fights is my passion. I played her inside the distance on round 3. Like, why not? Makes sense. Should have hit a couple times already. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree. I went into this thinking I was gonna like Aldrich a little bit. Ended up just passing altogether. I think Blanchfield's gonna put on a takedown clinic. I was on Aldrich versus in her last fight versus Jillian Robertson, but Blanchfield's just much better at chaining takedowns together. I think she's gonna probably. I hope you get your late finish. If I had to pick, I would say decision, but it really comes down to what Blanchfield does when she gets on top. She's gonna get top time at some point. I think there may be a time where the Blanchfield fade comes alive, but it's just not here. So the pick is Blanchfield. No bet for me. Hope she gets the finish for you.
I
Next
hope
up,
she gets the takedowns for you. Like, you played over
yeah.
over 3.5 takedowns, right? You need 4. I don't know about that one
I think
because it goes by official statistics, right? Right.
yeah. So in
It fucking sucks. Like, they don't count a lot of takedowns that are takedowns. Like, they don't count mat returns. You know what I mean?
yeah,
She's
I
going
think
to
like
need more than one takedown in one round. You know what I mean? Or 3 takedowns in one round. I don't know, man. I don't think she's getting up.
yeah, see, the way I look at it is I don't think Blanchfield's gonna finish her, and like the way the line is set, it favors there being no finish. So I'm like, okay, Blanchfield's probably gonna get one takedown in every round at the minimum. So I just need Aldrich to get up one single time, even if it's like a mat return. So yeah, I'm rolling the dice on it, but we'll see what happens. I definitely will keep everyone posted how they grade that. Next up, Andres Mikulitis versus Renat. Forgive me for mispronouncing this last name. Dinov. Do you have any idea how to pronounce that?
Dinov. Dinov or something like that. I don't know why
Yeah,
it's so difficult for you Americans all these names like Nurmagomedov. Like, it's not. I don't know
that
why.
one's easy.
Like Mahachev.
That one's easy too.
Dinov. I don't know.
Dinov.
We can call him Rinat. He's going to be Rinat from this
Yeah.
day on. Rinat.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's going to knock out Mikulitis, but like, the line is pretty shit. I
Yeah.
parlay doesn't go the distance at around, I think it's minus 188 or minus 200. I got something like that. Like, why not? Mikulitis just doesn't go to decisions. He has 11 finishes in 13 wins, and he has been knocked out in all of his losses 5 times. And this guy is, I don't know if he's legit, you know what I mean? Because the level of competitions, but he hits like a fucking truck. Like, he almost killed Eric Spicely.
Yeah.
Like, that was
You said I had trouble pronouncing names.
no, I changed his surname. I didn't pronounce it wrong. It's Spicely, right? I called
Yeah.
him Wisely.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that like a
that
minute knockout or something?
a brutal knockout, and I had already seen it because before taping the fight, because it was on one of these Dana White looking for a fight episodes. You know, he went to see a card with Habib, and there were a lot of fighters from whatever Istan, and this guy was fighting, and he fucking killed the guy. It was a brutal knockout, like a scary one. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see how this fight goes 3 rounds. He has a ton of finishes himself, and if it turns out that he's a fucking fraud, which I don't think he is, or he gets caught, the line looks solid. Like, why is this line not minus 500?
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the last fight. I kind of went into it thinking like, oh, maybe there's a little bit of value on Mikulitis, but then I got into tape and I just can't do it. I think this guy covers his price tag. I don't like you said. I don't know how legit he is, but I think he's legit enough to win this one. I agree with you too. I don't think it goes the distance.
Mikulitis has like 5 minutes of
Yeah,
enthusiasm and then he dies.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. He's the best 5-minute fighter on the planet, according to people who had him against Pereira, which I had, but that
I
was
had
kind
him
of
by submission.
yeah. I mean,
the
hey,
guy,
it was
the guy
looking
can't
good.
even submit his taxes, man.
Yeah,
He's a black belt in Greece. I don't know. I don't know where he got that belt.
yeah. They
He
just
wasn't
give
looking
the
horrible. Like Pereira has huge grappling holds, but he died. Okay, it wasn't a horrible bet, honestly. Like you had the money
nah.
line, right? It wasn't a
Yeah,
horrible bet. He died. Could happen. He just died, but it was a fine line.
yeah. I got a crazy price on that too. I waited until like the day of, like right before the fight started, and I got like a really high price.
Submission
But
was like plus 1900.
yeah,
like, like why not?
yeah. At that point, you kind of have to. I'm looking forward to next month when we break down Pereira versus Strickland. That'll be fun.
They have banned the Strickland from Twitter. Huge loss. But Paulo
Yeah,
Costa is taking over now.
he's such a good follow.
And it's the best fighter account on Twitter. By
Yeah,
far, Paulo
for
Costa.
sure. No, 100%. Next up, I have a pretty strong opinion on this fight. Jeff Molina versus Zhalgas Zumagilov. I like Zhalgas here. I don't get why Molina is minus 200. He has good volume, but he definitely has some flaws in his game. He faced a couple guys that aren't as good as Zhalgas, in my opinion, and he had a really close fight with the Mongolian. I was actually at that fight. Without dropping him at the end of the second round, he probably loses that. I get that he's like this new fan favorite. He interacts with people on Twitter and they like him, and I get it. And I know Zhalgas is 1-3 in the UFC, but he really could have gotten that decision in his first fight against Paiva. I just think he's a skilled fighter. I mean, for 1-3 in the UFC, I think he's good. Like I was actually hoping they didn't
He's
cut him.
better.
Yeah, like I just
He's
think he's
better
better
than
at
Molina.
fighting. Like I was like trying to think of how to say it. I'm like, I just think he's better. So I don't get this line. I haven't played it yet because it seems like it's still creeping up, but I don't get why Zhalgas is plus 150 here. Curious to hear if you share that same opinion or if you are laying the chalk on Jeff.
Yeah, I was hoping you didn't pick Molina because we haven't talked about the fights this week. I was like, please don't say you have Molina.
No, no shot.
I don't know why people think this guy is the next great thing. Like there was a time where people were saying for months that Ode Osborne was like the John Jones 2.0 and he's a bum. Not a bum, but he's a fraud. I don't see what people see in Molina. Like he's an okay fighter, has okay power. His defense is a huge liability. His chin looks a little bit not fragile, but I have to see more. He has been rocked pretty bad. He was saved by the bell against the Mongolian guy or Chinese guy or whatever he was. He can be grappled offensively, like Lacerda did, and yeah, he finished Lacerda. But how is that win looking? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And the other wins he has are like myth. So yeah, I think Zumagilov is the better fighter. He's solid. Okay, Manel Cap finished him, but Manel Cap hits like he has a fucking rocket for that weight class. His right
Yeah, and he
hand is a
killed his
rocket.
leg too.
And Zalgas was looking good in my opinion, and he has looked good in every fight. He's a legit fighter. He can grapple. He can strike. He's durable. He's aggressive. I honestly think he's going to fuck Molina up. I think he's going to finish him. So yeah, I think Zumagilov is the side 100%.
Yeah.
And also, he has two wives, like we touched before on the podcast. So it's a must bet, in my opinion.
That should count to like 20 cents on the betting line.
Yeah, I think we said 3, but it was actually 2. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. Maybe he has got another one. Maybe
I
it's
think
like 4 now.
I think you told me that on this podcast, and I never knew.
Yeah, Jack was here. I remember it.
Yeah. That's crazy. I think there was like an article, like MMA Junkie or someone put an article about it. I gotta look that up. But he's a
Yeah,
legend.
and he was
Hopefully he
like,
wins
"Yeah,
here.
I'll get another one. Maybe if they give him the bonus, he goes to the market or whatever, however it works in whatever is done, and buys another one."
That's so
Can you
funny, man.
imagine if he goes on the mic like, "Hey, Dana, 50G, I have to buy a wife."
Oh my god, that is funny stuff. Yeah, where's he from? He's from Kazakhstan?
Yeah, but I mean, Kazakhstan is not Chechnya. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are for sure some not conservative, but like traditional people, and
Mhm.
he's a Muslim. But I don't think everyone is like, "Oh, I have 3 wives."
Yeah, okay. Just the
Maybe I'm wrong,
UFC
but
viewers.
I know there's a lot of mafia though.
Yeah. This is funny. Dana, 50 wives, baby. That's funny as hell. All right, Tony Gravely versus Johnny Munoz. Do you have any strong takes here?
Everybody's betting Munoz. Like, what's going on?
Betting
I
Munoz?
went
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on him too.
like, why? I mean, I like him. He's a decent fighter. He has good jits, but Gravely is better on the feet. Unless he's very tired, Munoz is not grappling him, in my opinion. Like, I don't know if Munoz has the physicality to do what Brett Jones did. You know what I mean? Brett Jones is a fucking hooligan. He's going to shoot 700 takedowns. Munoz is not that guy. He doesn't have that strength. He's obviously a legit jiu-jitsu player. I like him, but the guy he subbed in the UFC, my grandma would have subbed like this Simmons guy that Giga finished. That's an absolute bum, and it took him a while to get it going. You know what I mean? Round one was like, ugh. I was on him and I was like, I don't like this. Gravely can get top time and be safe on top probably. He has an insane ability to put himself into submissions, but if he doesn't fight like an idiot, I like him here. I think he's going to win. I took him by decision. I know that's like, oh, he bet a decision. Gravely by decision plus 275 is an offline, in my opinion. If
Remember?
Munoz gets hurt, he can probably be safe on bottom a little bit, you know what I mean? Or pull guard. Yeah. I like Gravely here. I think he's going to win. I wouldn't be shocked if Munoz submits him or maybe rocks him and then subs him, something like that. But I have a hard time seeing Munoz dominate the fight if things go in a linear way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but nothing big. A couple units.
Yeah, I have no strong takes here. I'm picking Gravely too, but I don't think I'll play it. There's just something about him I don't like. He somehow always finds a way to put himself in peculiar spots. Even in his last fight, he was winning pretty solidly, but yet you never really feel
And
safe if you're
I,
backing
I, I
him.
really like watching him fight because you know when fighters are like striking safe and then they get into exchange and you are like, whoa, careful. He's always in that situation. I don't think I have seen the guy jab ever. Every exchange he does is do or die.
Yeah.
And he kills a lot of people inside those exchanges, but he gets hit too. I think he's a good fighter. I like him in the UFC. I like watching him fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. for me. I want to fight. I want to watch someone like Gravely that is going to go in and shoot takedowns and fucking try to kill someone, not watch. I don't know. I was going to say some women fighter, but I don't want to offend anyone.
I think we're a little late for that. I bet Gravely against Manis, and he almost finished him at the end of the first round. And in the second round, Manis was like not even on this
Man,
planet, and he comes out and knocks him out.
I love Denis. He's an absolute chat, but I was like, he's not knocking Gravely out, and Gravely always loses by submission when he loses. You know, I had Denis for a couple units, and it was a crazy price by submission. And I also had round 3, and it was like plus 2,500 or plus 3,300. And the guy, like, I couldn't believe that shit.
How did he
That
not
was
die?
brutal.
Like I don't get how he came back. Like at the end of that first round, it genuinely
He
seemed
was
like he
dead.
did.
Like he was
Yeah,
dead.
like it didn't even seem like he knew he was in a fight
And
going out for the
he went
second
like
round.
full Marge Simpson. He killed the guy. That was insane.
Yeah, that was insane. We'll see what happens with that fight. Next up, we have Nicholas Stolze taking on Benoit Saint Denis. You start this one.
I like Denis. I think he's going to win. Like I bet the Stolze. Like how would I say this? I did the tape on Stolze when he had his debut in the UFC, and I bet him against Jared Gooden, who I think is a bum. He got knocked out brutally round 1. Okay, it can happen, I guess. He got caught, but it wasn't a very good look. And I liked his tape, but his wins are pathetic. You know what I mean? Not pathetic in the way they happen. Like the opposition is not very good, and he has some losses that are very questionable in the regions, like Terry Brazier, people like that. And this fight, like Saint Denis is a berserker, and he grapples like a motherfucker. I think people probably have a wrong image of him because of the Zaleski fight, but that was a very, very rough debut. Like Zaleski's a monster at welterweight. And he fucked him up. Like fucked him up real good. That's the most fucked up I have ever seen anyone in a fight without getting stopped by far. Like by far. He knocked him out like 7 times.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's going to grapple. I think he's going to get a submission eventually, probably late. I bet him by submission. Yeah, why not? He looks durable. Like, yeah, okay. Zaleski almost killed him, but he hit real hard and he took a huge stone. Like, if that fight is like to the death, I think he kills Zaleski. That was insane. Maybe the referee was onto something. You know what I mean? That was fixed for sure. Like,
has that guy?
Some people are going to call me crazy, but that was a fixed fight in the sense of the referee was on someone's payroll for some outcome. I don't know if it was the over or whatever it was, but that was fixed. Like there is no fucking way, bro. There are some sequences in that fight. I mean, he got finished a lot of times during the same fight, but there was one sequence against the fence when the guy is covering he's like sideways, and Zaleski went 4 or 5 full force right hands. I was like, this guy's going to die in here. And Paul Felder was fucking losing his mind because the guy didn't got knocked out. He was like, he's ex-special forces. Like, he has torture training or something. He was saying insane shit.
Wasn't
the guy has heart.
Wasn't there like I remember hearing something like that was only that referee's like 3rd fight in the UFC or something. I haven't seen him since.
That ref is like a classic ref in Russian promotions and
really?
Brave, things like that. Yes, he's a classic, and I have seen him ref and he does normal shit. He doesn't do shit like that. Like that was so obvious. Like that was fixed, man. Please don't kill me, Russian mafia, but that was fixed.
This will be the last.
They got the bag. I guess that some mafia boss got like 2 million euros on the over 2.5, and he was like, yeah, easy money.
He was like sharp bet, never in doubt.
Never in doubt.
I have mixed feelings about this fight because on one hand, like Saint Denis, he does have that early grappling upside. I don't love his cardio. He's also taken a ton of damage, but like you said, Stolze, he lost to Jared Gooden, which is not a great look. He has some sketchy regional fights. I don't know. Like from a money line perspective, you put a gun to my head, I'd probably play Stolze as a dog just because I don't have like a strong conviction on the fight. But I'll see what Saint Denis can do. Maybe this time it'd be funny if this time he gets clipped once and the ref like early stops it.
Man, he may get. I mean, I bet him, but he may get hit once and die. Like that. That it was that kind of beating.
Yeah, 100%.
But I like him. I think he's going to be a solid fighter in the UFC. If he gets a couple wins, like a solid fighter to watch. When he gets on top, he's a dominant grappler, but he also goes like flying armbar, heel hook, blah blah blah, whatever comes to his mind. I like him. He's wild.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay going into this fight. Next up, we have our boy Damon Jackson, the biggest favorite on the card, is taking on Dan Argetta. Argetta coming over from LFA, moving up a weight class. I think he's in for it here. I think Damon Jackson has him completely covered. Better striker, better grappler, bigger, fought better competition. I played Jackson early in the week, minus 330. He's minus 700 now. I really don't see how Argetta wins this fight other than landing something big. Like I know you think he's pretty good. I don't see it. I think he's terrible on the feet. I think he'll make Damon Jackson. He's gonna make Damon Jackson look like Floyd Mayweather out there on the feet.
I have been watching this guy for a long time, and I shouted him out on Twitter a couple of times too that he should be in the UFC. But I'm a little bit not sad, but disappointed that he's getting this debut. You know what I mean? Upper division against another grappler that has him covered.
Yeah,
but Argetta is a good fighter. He's going to get wins in the UFC, especially in 3 rounders. He's aggressive.
135.
Yeah. he's a very aggressive wrestler, very aggressive ground and pound. Yeah, his striking is a liability, but he has the heart of a fucking lion, man. And he's durable, and he's legit. Like he's UFC ready, and he's going to get wins. But yeah, this fight, Jackson probably snatches a choke at some point, like gets a guillotine or gets on top and fucks him up. Like he's too big and he's too good of a grappler, and he's not getting submitted. I think I wouldn't be completely shocked if Argetta gets takedowns early and pounds him out or something wild. But I think Jackson is going to submit him at some point. But it's like minus 110 Jackson by submission. That's a joke. I parlayed Jackson inside the distance and also doesn't go the distance. Like I don't see this fight going the distance at all. So yeah, Jackson by submission is the pick, but
agreed. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out. Honestly, I did not like Argetta striking.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Next fight, I think you have a stronger opinion on it than I do, so I'll just touch on it really quick, and then you could take over. Joe Salecki versus Alex De Silva. Joe Salecki about minus 165 right now. I bet him and was pissed off after his last fight. He's a very good grappler, great jiu-jitsu, just a little bit too comfortable off his back. I mean, after watching what Grant Dawson did to Jared Gordon, there was no reason Salecki should have lost that fight. De Silva, a pretty good grappler himself, but I do think that Salecki is the grappling ace here. I do think if he fights a little bit smarter, he is a higher ceiling in the UFC. De Silva is young, though, so it's possible we see improvements for him. I say all that to say I'm picking Salecki. I don't have a bet here. We'll see what happens. What do you got?
I have Da Silva pretty big here. I think he's going to win and look good doing so. Like I think he's a very good prospect. I like him. I like his game. He obviously has a couple holes to fix, especially his cardio. He was 24 and he had a couple tough fights. Brad Riddell is a tough fight at 24 in the UFC. And he was doing pretty good. Like he lost that fight on basically on cardio and a couple moments. You know what I mean? Like he was looking very good early.
Who was he supposed? Was it He was supposed to fight that striker.
He was supposed to fight fucking Devonta Smith, and I was like going to bet my house. I was so pissed that was cancelled, and the line was closed, man. It was like minus 110 or something like that.
He was the underdog.
I was like, he's going to take him down and fucking ruin his world. And I remember I told you that I was so pissed that fight got
canceled. Sam.
That was an easy bet.
Yeah, that was
he got cut. Devonta Smith. Did you see that? Like he got cut.
No, I didn't see that. Who did he fight last? I don't even remember.
He lost against the Australian berserker. This guy, I like this guy. What is his name? Mularki.
Oh, yeah, that's my guy.
That was the last one, right? I think so.
Mularki lost to Turner, but I think before that he beat... Yes, he beat... I bet him there. He beat... I think you did too.
Yeah, that was an easy bet.
Yeah.
Absolute chat, Mularki.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like Salecki's jiu-jitsu. I think he has very good jiu-jitsu. I like it in the sense that he's not. You don't really see a lot of times in the UFC a fighter that has good jiu-jitsu and is powerful at the same time at jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like, his power jiu-jitsu is incredible when he gets people down and he's fresh. Like he's muscling people into submission. The guy just left the podcast. Okay. I like Da Silva to keep this fight. I think he can keep this fight standing. I think he can get takedowns of his own. I think he's much better on the feet. I think a win for Salecki is strongly tied to a first round submission or 2 rounds on top and somehow surviving. I think Da Silva is the clear side. It's going to look stupid what I'm saying if Salecki gets a takedown and submits him round 1, but I don't think that's happening. I think he's going to get stuck on the feet. His striking is horrible. His cardio is horrible. And I think Da Silva is going to fuck him up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this one from a fan perspective, just as a grappling fan. We touched on this next guy a little bit. Osborne taking on Zaruk Adashev. I could kick this one off. I like Adashev here, kind of similar to the Molina fight. I like both the flyweight dogs here. Why is Ode minus 200 here?
Because Adashev is horrible.
I mean, skill-wise, I feel like he's not though. Like I feel like Adashev's actually pretty good skill-wise. He's a pretty good kickboxer. I don't think Osborne's just gonna come out and like grapple. Like
the thing is, this is MMA, and the guy is like built like a tortoise, and he just bounces and has good hands. That's it. That's what where his game starts and ends. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have anything else. He's reliable to bring the fight, and he has power. but
He's good kicks too.
he's not very good. I think the line is kind of right because I think he's a fraud, but he has the better ground game. He's bigger, he's longer, he has power, and he's probably going to be faster down the pipe. Adashev is a guy that is more of looping punches. I don't know. I played doesn't go the distance big. Why is this line -110, -120? Like Ode is an under machine, and this guy is going to go forward and bring a war. And they are not really going to grapple. Maybe Osborne does offensively, and if he does, he's probably submitting the guy. I don't think this goes 3 rounds. I think this line should be much, much wider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with
nothing
that.
else.
I agree with that.
If Osborne by submission was a crazy number, I would have taken it, but it's like plus 600, and there's no value there because he can bomb the guy or he can get bombed.
Yeah. No, I do think I get why Ode's the favorite. He has some physical gifts, but I think plus 160 is too wide, honestly. And I don't normally stand during the whole show, but I'm actually at my vacation house right now, so I am standing for this show. I just had to run and turn on the AC really quick. It was getting hot in here. But next up, we have the people's main event: Karolina Kowalkiewicz, the rematch versus Felice Herrig. Fun fact: before I get into this one, this was the first UFC event I ever went to live. It was the first time they fought. It was the night that Khabib fought Iaquinta. So it was a legendary night. I'll make this short and sweet. Yes, this fight's a mess. No, Karolina shouldn't be the underdog. Like, I get she's on a 5-fight losing streak, but Herrig's only fought twice since they fought last. She lost both their fights as well. If you look at the level of competition Karolina fought, like, all these girls would beat Herrig too, and some of them already have. So I get it. I get why people want to stay away from this fight, but I do think Karolina should be like -140, -150 here. So I bet it. I had to. If she loses a close decision, she loses a close decision, but I think she's for sure the side here. I have a feeling you have nothing on this fight.
I bet Herrig inside the distance.
No.
Yeah. Like,
this fight's going the distance.
It's a must. Like, I know she has had surgery. The first fight between them was very strange. Like, I don't know what Herrig was doing. Herrig gets takedown in every fight, but she didn't in that fight. Maybe Karolina can defend a little bit in body lock situations. You know what I mean? She's not bad in the clinch. She was always good in the clinch, but you shoot at a lower body takedown, a single leg, a double leg, she's going down. You catch a kick, she's going down. Like, she's fucking horrible. She's 36. She hasn't improved. Her grappling is a massive hole.
She's younger than Herrig.
Yeah, I know, but Herrig is jacked. Karolina has huge tits and is talking about being a mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she has looked like a retired fighter, honestly. Like, that fight against the Chinese girl, she got royally fucked up.
Oh, Yan Shonan.
Yeah, and Penn submitted her so easily.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed I've been crushing these last names ever since he called me out for the Russian guy?
That was an easy one.
Yan Xiaonan.
I think Herrig gets takedowns, and I think she can maul her on top. She's not historically great at keeping people down, but Karolina is like a zero on the ground. Like, she's horrible.
This is a fun fight
why
to
not?
be head-to-head on.
I would have taken submission, but the line was too close, so inside the distance. Karolina is done. My point is that Herrig may be done, but Karolina is super, super done, in my opinion. So, yeah. I hope she loses and gets another fight, because she's kind of hot, and the UFC goes like, "Oh, let's give her another fight," and maybe she gets some killer next. You know what I mean? Some up and coming killer.
Yeah.
And Dana is like, "Okay, this is the last one. Give him this fucking Brazilian that is on Trembolon."
This is such a fun fight to be head-to-head on out of all of them. Next up, we have Alonzo Manifield taking on the, what do they call him? The Australian or the Austrian Conor McGregor or something?
The Ukrainian Conor McGregor.
Ukrainian? I don't know.
He goes like, "Yeah, I don't mind people calling me the Ukrainian Conor McGregor, man. Nobody's calling you that. You're like, you are a fucking taxi driver."
No one's ever called him that, ever. Do you have anything here?
His record keeps getting worse as the week goes by. By Saturday, he's going to be 5-47.
Did you bet?
Manifield should really win this. Like, if he shoots one takedown, this is an auto win.
Yeah.
The guy's a quitter. He has been stopped in all his losses, 12 losses. 12 finishes. I think it's 4 knockouts and 8 submissions. I feel I mean, Manifield is a fucking brute. Like, he's built like a gorilla, but I feel very tempted to bet submission. Like, the classic quitter rear naked choke. Why not? Is Alonso going to do it? I may have to message him or something because this is a serious issue. Like,
Yeah,
it
you
could
should.
be it could be the bet of the month if he goes for it. Bet of the month. It's plus 600. Like, it's super short for a guy like Manifield, but I parlayed Manifield inside the distance in one parlay, big, and I parlayed big the under 1.5. Manifield, if Manifield gets finished, shame on him, but could happen. This guy never goes over 1.5. That's my reasoning. He kills someone or he gets killed by bombs. He's horrible. Never goes
Yeah.
past 1 round. He has gone over 1.5. I don't know, maybe twice in last 20 fights.
Something like that.
If Manifield loses this, man, it's going to be sad.
Yeah.
If him or anyone from his camp have watched tape, Manifield comes out, shoots a takedown, hits him twice, and the fight is over.
Gets a bonus, gets a first round bonus, goes home, gets his win bonus. I do this actually a decent amount, especially for regional promotions. If there's someone with
I have done this.
2,000
Haven't done this in a long time, but I did a couple times. One fighter actually answered me back. Renan
Yeah,
Barao.
I get answered sometimes.
Renan Barao against Andre Ewell, man. And I had him by submission.
Same.
I was like, easy submission, bro. And he said us. I was like, yeah, we got this. And then the guy doesn't finish the armbar. That was brutal. I remember I was drunk watching this in the disco on the mobile phone. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, whenever I was betting on someone to win by submission, I would message them and be like, "You have a huge grappling edge. Like, I can't wait to see you use it."
I don't really do it, but I did it maybe a couple years ago, twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna post one or two of them to Twitter.
Fighters are probably like, oh, another fucking moron telling me what to do.
I preface it with saying like I work for Sportsline. I'm like, hey, I'm an MMA analyst, but I work for Sportsline. Like,
that's so fucking lame.
Yeah, because that way they don't think I'm like some random person. Like, I'm not like that way. I'm not like, oh, I'm some degenerate gambler. I'm like, I'm gonna try to find one right now.
Now people are going to pretend that I do this every week, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it a couple times where they've actually answered.
I don't really do it. But I remember I did with Barao and he answered me.
That's epic. I bet Manifield minus 140. I think this line now makes more sense. I kind of wish I went bigger on it, honestly. He should really have no issues here. I like the under 1.5 as well. Not sure how this guy got into the UFC. Apparently it's by lying.
By lying about his record.
Yeah.
He will go down as a legend. If he comes out and like high kicks Manifield for a knockout or something, it's going to be legendary.
Yeah, I don't get like how does that even happen?
He comes out and shoots a kick.
No, I mean like how did he not get caught lying to the UFC?
Man, there is a lot of wild shit that goes on with apology and shit. Like managers try to. The thing is, they have to trick the journalists that work there doing the records and shit like that. You know what I mean? I remember there was a guy that they
Bruno Silva when he fought Pereira.
Yeah, he shoot takedowns, but his jiu-jitsu was like, what is your jiu-jitsu, bro? Yeah, I remember there was a guy on Topology that he got caught and he had recorded 3 fake fights against the same guy, changing the guy's shorts. You know what I mean? 3 fights against the same guy, fixed with the just changing the color of the shorts, and they caught him. Bro, stop doing that. It's so fucking lame. This is going to come after you.
I only did it once this year, and it was that one. But I did it to Dakota Bush in the past too, and he got knocked out. But yeah, that was like I don't really bet props anymore. I was doing that when I was betting submission props, just being like, "Hey, dude, grapple." But anyway, Manifield should really kill this guy. If he wins somehow, that's just crazy. But Korean Silva versus Poliana Botelho. I'll go first here. I don't have a ton to say about this one. No strong opinions. Botelho's fought the better competition. If you put a gun to my head, I would pick her, but it's really not a strong take. I don't trust Korean Silva's grappling, or excuse me, don't trust her cardio, but she seems pretty skilled for the first round or two, so I get why it's closely lined. Do you have any bets on this?
Yeah, like Wise doesn't go the distance plus money.
I guess probably just because they're like females that don't hit that
This
hard.
is so stupid. Like the Brazilian girl, she looks like she has 7 or 8 minutes of solid cardio, like of
Yeah.
solid karate, like Ugabe likes to say on Twitter. She has like 7 minutes of karate. And she has some serious submission upside against Botelho, who is like a head case, and her jiu-jitsu is very questionable. And she comes out hot. Like she throws fucking heat. So does Botelho. Botelho has a huge body kick. If she doesn't get finished, he probably fucks her up down the stretch. I like doesn't go the distance, and I took some Karine Silva inside submission is plus 500. Like makes sense. Why not? I just hope someone dies.
That's always fun to look forward to. Mike Trisano, Lucas Almeida. This one's kind of similar to what we touched on before. I feel like Lucas Almeida is round one or bust. I like Trisano. He's probably a top 30 or 40 featherweight, and Lucas Almeida doesn't have good cardio. He comes out looking for the kill in round one. I think Trisano has the grappling upside, better cardio, fought better competition. I happily laid minus 200 on him. I actually think the under 2.5 plus 165 is wrong too. I think that should be less because Almeida's going to come out swinging for the fences, and
I
if he
can
doesn't, I think
see
Trisano totally takes over.
I can see a really late finish for Trisano. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
I really like Trisano by submission here. May look a little short. It's plus 600 what I got, I think. Around that. I don't know what is it now. I think it's around plus 600. This guy can be grappled. He gasses. I have watched him fight a lot of times, like live. He has some power, but he's borderline UFC level. You know what I mean? He's not a special athlete. He has some power, but he's not a great striker or anything. He just looks borderline. And Trisano is the better fighter, the bigger man probably. He has some power himself. He can grapple him here. He has the much better cardio. His chin looks solid, which could be the issue here. If you have a bad chin, maybe he touches you. But Trisano is solid, and he has fought the much better competition. Like his last fights, he fought some serious strikers. Yeah, I like Trisano a lot. By submission and round 3, I think he's going to fucking like take his soul. You know what I mean? Like pace, cardio, grappling again, and the guy gives his neck or something. I think
hopefully
he's going
it's early
to
in the
fuck him
third.
up. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I hope it's early in the third round if it's going to be third round. No more flags. I wonder. Oh, they don't let him do that. Yeah, I bet Hakeem in that fight, but this is just such a different matchup.
I bet Trisano, and I thought that was a good bet.
You do?
Yeah, I think like that was a strange fight, but I felt like he could have done so much more. You know what I mean? Like force the issue more. Why didn't he grapple him until the end? Like he could get takedowns. That was a strange fight. Like I bet him, he lost. I don't know if I bet him straight. I don't remember, or some prop, but at the end of that fight, I had that feeling that okay, I don't know if I will do this again, but I am not disappointed with that bet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next up, we have the co-main event. Movsar Evloev is probably going to dominate Danny Ige in the grappling. Not a strong take for me here. I kind of dropped the ball. I wish I played Evloev at like minus 280, minus 290 early in the week, but I missed it, so happy to pass. I get why someone would take a shot on submission or late, but I think it's more likely a decision. Evloev by domination.
Yeah, I took a small shot on Evloev round 3 for the culture. Like I have to. Yeah, the line looks fine to me. He has a gigantic grappling edge. He's not really great at keeping people down, but he looked much better against Dawodu, taking his back, like expending or staying long stretches on his back. That was a good development for his game, I think. But yeah, he's a cardio machine. His striking is not great, but he makes it work. His volume boxing with his pace and his aggression and his takedown threat works. And we will probably be seeing a very different line here if he hadn't been grapple fucked by Korean Zombie. But yeah, Zombie made it look very easy, and like Evloev should really get takedowns at will. If you are playing Ige, I have seen Ige by knockout plus 1,000, plus 11,000 at some books. Like, I don't think that's a bad bet. Evloev has a very questionable stand-up, in my opinion. But yeah, I like Evloev. Probably he gets a decision, I get, but a late finish wouldn't surprise me. I'm playing the value here. Good fighter, Evloev. I like him. I hope he gets. Like I was hoping this would be a 5-rounder because I wanted to play him by finish later. But yeah, good fighter. I like him. It's a shame that Tupuria eventually is going to kill him.
Yeah. Speaking of main events, 5-round fights, we have Alexander Volkov taking on Rozenstruik. Not sure why they went with this one for the main event. They easily could have did Evloev versus Ige, but I'll kick us off. I don't know. A lot of you saw me tweet about it earlier in the week. I don't care about this fight. I hate that they're doing it as a main event. Volkov has looked terrible in his last two. It's hard to know how much he's fallen off the cliff. If you put a gun to my head, I'd pick Rozenstruik, but he's bad volume, bad grappling. So I just want nothing to do with this one. Do you have anything here?
I didn't play anything. Like I was like, oh, maybe I take Volkov late, but Rozenstruik is great at making nothing happen in his fights. You know what I mean? And Volkov is longer, but he can be hit. And Rozenstruik is the type of striker that just makes people shell. Outside of gun, that really outclass him. Probably a stupid low volume fight. I still think Volkov is going to win, basically on the foul, unless Rozenstruik kills him. I wouldn't be surprised if Rozenstruik clipped him and knocked him out. But yeah, I think Volkov is going to win. But no bet. Like I have zero interest in this fight. I hate this main event. I'm fucking sick of heavyweight main events. Like if it's a heavyweight main event, give me Ngannou or Ngannou. Not even Ngannou.
Even Ngannou, like
even Ngannou is like why? Because he's only going to use one round. I mean, that 5-round fight against Ngannou was glorious. He won exactly as I had predicted by grabbing fucking Ngannou.
I haven't heard anything about Ngannou in a while. Like I saw Chael put out a video. Like, what's the word on him?
And Tyson Fury is saying that he's going to box Ngannou. Ngannou has resigned with the UFC. I mean, it may not be official, but he has got paid. That's what I've been told. Okay.
Yeah.
Per sources. Ngannou signed with the UFC. He got fucking paid. Like he's going to defend when his knee gets okay. He's going to defend, and Dana is not going to let him box.
No,
because he will get humiliated.
Dude, no one wants to see that. Like, I don't get why they do that.
Yeah, Ngannou does. Because he thinks he's going to pocket 20 million against Fury. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
He has virtually no chance.
Yeah. 0. He would have to like land something crazy, and even if he does, like Wilder landed something crazy and Fury still ended up getting up. But 125 live viewers, appreciate you guys. We're going to read our Lambo parlays. I actually just made mine while we were discussing this subpar main event. I don't have access to FanDuel and DraftKings here, so I did it all money lines and totals on Pinnacle. I went Andres Mikulitis under 1.5, Zalgis Zumagilov money line, under 1.5 in the Manifield fight, Adashev money line, Trisano money line, Blanchfield money line, Jackson money line, over 2.5 in the Gravely fight, over 3.5 in the main event. 100 to win 16,000. I didn't even notice, but 2 weeks ago, I almost I was only like 1 or 2 legs away. Again, this is the second time in a row where I was
do you know how many times I have been like 1 leg away from being a millionaire?
It was
not 1, but maybe 2.
It was Viana finishing. I had some good stuff in there. I had Medic knockout at like plus 400.
If Viana had won, I would have won an insane amount on Parlays. Like just win the money line. He fucked up. I think she won, but she was never getting that decision.
Yeah, I did too, and I saw all judges scored the first round for her.
Yeah, she didn't. She landed more strikes.
Yeah,
and
she was better. She was better on the feet than Richie, and she kept. She
was threatening the submission. I think she won she deserved to win the fight 2 rounds to 1, but I knew she was not getting the decision. Maybe people disagree with me, but I don't think Richie was this great bet or anything. No, I wouldn't bet Viana to finish again, but I just wouldn't bet the fight.
Yeah. What's your Lambo?
Yeah, I had this prepared. This is going to hit so easily. It's going to look so obvious. Okay.
You sounded like Trump when you said that. This is gonna
China, like China. He talked like this, man. It's a funny man. He's not that stupid as people think in America, I think. Here in Europe, they portray this guy as the Antichrist. You know what I mean? Like he's very bad, this and that. Biden is good, Trump is bad. But people don't really give a shit about American politics here.
Yeah.
as I was saying, this is going to hit so easily. Like this is going to look so obvious. Okay, I kept it simple. Michael Trisano and Erin Blanchfield both to win in round 3. 100 to win 19,500. It's so obvious.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Should be minus 200. Like,
If that hits,
don't you think those two fights develop into a fucking mauling late for the favorite at a stupid high clip? Like, honestly.
yeah, I think Blanchfield versus Aldrich could get ugly, but I don't think it'll get ugly until late. I don't know. Trisano, I feel like could finish earlier. Like, I feel like if Almeida wins, it's probably early, right?
Yeah, Trisano is going to fucking take his soul if this goes
Yeah.
past 10 minutes.
100%. But yeah, hopefully that hits. Does anyone have any questions? I saw someone mention
Why can't you
boxing.
play like any props? Molly Monies, are you in Florida?
What's that?
Why can't you play any props like only money lines for the parlay? Are you in Florida?
Yeah, because I usually do it on FanDuel or DraftKings, just like while I'm sitting in my apartment. But
You spend
in
a lot of
Florida right
time lately. You spend a lot of time in Florida, where you do all your drug dealing.
No, I'm just enjoying the warm weather and the beaches.
The beaches or the beaches. Your girlfriend
Beaches.
may watch this podcast. Be careful.
Yeah. Beaches. Only beaches.
Okay. If anybody got some questions, I am not exaggerating, man. I have got like 40 or 50 DMs asking about that fight, Kambosos versus Haney.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think what did you have again? I forget.
I think Haney is going to beat the shit out of Kambosos.
But what's the odds?
He's like minus 170, something like that.
Might
Yeah,
have to lay
I will
that.
post, but I think Haney is going to stop him. Like, if the Teofimo fight doesn't happen, Haney is minus 1,000 here. Like, no joke. Minus 1,000. Camboso, I mean, his chin is kind of a liability, but he's much better at everything.
What? Oh, I was gonna ask you this. I might as well just ask you here. What is would they ever make Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, that fight's going to happen eventually because I think it's a lot of money on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm like, for all of you who watch this, obviously I'm not super into boxing, but like that was closely lined. I would bet him big
I
if he fought
mean,
Garcia.
Davis is a really good boxer, but he's going to lose very soon because you know what I mean? He's undersized at lightweight. Like
Not the Garcia, though.
Rolly Romero fights like he's in a barbecue, and he was giving him serious problems. Like everybody's going to act like, oh, I can't believe people bet Rolly Romero, blah blah blah. Gervonta was a fucking square bet. He was like minus 1,000.
I haven't seen it. I just saw the knockout.
Rolly deserved to be up on that fight on points 100%. The judges should be in jail. Like he won 3 rounds at least at that point. And he was doing very good. He was hitting Gervonta. He wasn't getting hit a lot. Like, yeah, he got caught in a huge way. He like his entry was horrible. Like the knockout sequence is grotesque. Like, what are you doing? Is it like first day at the gym knockout? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was doing very good. Gervonta is eventually going to lose. Like, I think he loses to the top dogs at lightweight. Maybe his power can bail him out, but I think someone like Teofimo fucks him up. Teofimo is now at super lightweight, but he's really good, but he really belongs at super featherweight physically. And he's kind of a small, fatty guy, fatty dwarf, like Romero said, you know what I mean? The press conference was so good, man. Romero was up 10-7 before the fight.
Really?
Like the press conference, everything, the walkout, everything was on point until he fucking died.
Yeah.
Like he said on the press conference, he said, "You look like a fucking koala with chlamydia."
That's hilarious. Yeah, Bo Nichols fighting some taxi driver this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be very violent and very brief.
Yeah, very. If there was like an under 1.5, I'd probably lay like whatever on it. There's just no way he doesn't finish him earlier.
People are saying this. You ask, like, they should honestly be doing this fight right now, Davis versus Garcia. But Garcia is a fucking idiot. He's a head case. He's a mental midget. He's a diva, and I don't know why he's fighting Javier Fortuna. Nobody wants to see that. He may lose that fight.
Really? I don't know. I'm not familiar with him.
Like, Garcia is like, I don't know how to tell you because you don't really watch boxing. Like, the guy is very big at the division, okay? At lightweight. He's very, very big. and he's super fast and has real power, and that's it. Like his defense has massive holes.
Yeah, I noticed that when I watched
He's
him.
like a shootout guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like a Western shootout guy. If he catches you, you are fucked. But he's there to be hit. He's a bad knockout waiting to happen.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if he gets in a shootout with Davis, like he probably puts his lights out.
Man, he could get Davis. Like that would be a dangerous fight for both. Yeah. But Davis is the much better boxer at this point. But he's way smaller.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I don't know the weight classes and stuff as well. What else you guys got? We've got a good episode next week. We got a big card. We have Shevchenko versus Santos. We have Jiri versus Glover. A lot of good fights on that one.
We got the donation. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Bennett. I know this isn't your first time donating, so we appreciate it. Means a lot to us.
We still haven't got any dollars because I have to enter my data and all shit like that.
Yeah, one day we'll cash out.
Our funds are being like withheld, or how do you say that?
Withheld, yeah.
Fulton deck. I'm probably going to bet something there. Stephen Fulton is fighting Daniel Roman. Really good fight. Like really good fight. Probably maybe the top 2 fighters in the division. Like Roman lost a split against a guy from Kazakhstan for 2 belts, and Fulton has the other 2 belts. I thought Fulton lost against Figueroa. He won a majority decision. I thought he lost. And Roman, I mean, he's like minus 700. What is he now? I guess that they are going to give a close decision to Fulton if that happens, probably, but the line is stupid. Roman is a good fighter. Fulton is minus 600. Roman is a good bet, honestly. He's a fucking dog. And Fulton cannot even finish his dinner. Like, yeah, all his friends are picking him by knockout on Twitter, like pro boxer and shit. Like, Fulton is not stopping Roman. That would be a shock to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't see anything else. You got anything else, Magic?
Magic. It sounds a little bit pretentious, you know what I mean? Magic. But I never thought we would be at this point. Like I made my Twitter account in 5 minutes. That was like the first stupid shit I thought about. Like, okay, my name starts with an M, Magic.
Yeah.
And now here we are. I would have thought about something more spectacular.
Magic's good. Like you said, obviously, like your name starts with an M. I still think you got to make the switch to the real name someday. People will like that. It's very like
it probably sounds Mexican to people. I don't think it's going to be very popular. Yeah, probably sounds Mexican.
You sound like a boxer. It does.
Like De La Hoya.
Yeah, like that's the first thing I said when you told me. Like
I know you were going to say that. I'm going to do like. Have you ever seen like Rolly Romero's Instagram?
No.
He said this. The boxer formerly known as Rolly Romero. I'm going to go like that. The better formerly known as Magic M.
That's what it says in my Bet MMA, because I used to have MMA Knockout Bets as the name, but like a year ago I switched it to my real name. So I put like formerly known as
Miguel is
as
not
Knockout
my name.
Bet. Andrew, do you know his real name? I do, and I'll never tell unless you pay me a lot of money. You should change it to Magic Tennis Bets. Now that we've had a week off.
I'm killing Roland Garros. Like this is going to be a package more expensive than the Ukraine 8th build next year. Okay, it's going to be like 50 million package.
Everyone's trying to guess. Everyone's trying to guess your name, and no one's got it right yet in the comments.
Yeah.
No one's even. Really
Nobody's named Manny here. Like maybe in the Philippines.
Manny Pacquiao.
Can Yeah, that's it. I have to be careful, man. They are fucking everywhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. Probably same time, same place.
Yeah, we'll have a guest next week.
Yep, we have a guest next week.
A good one, not a bomb. Like people said, like all these guests are bombs. They were saying the new format is great. They are all bombs.
Yeah, but appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.